All over the world, numerous amounts of crimes happen in seconds. Some willingly partaking and some unknowingly. But we will never stop spreading the word until the criminals are captured.
On NBC 10 News at 5, a medical worker is burned and beaten by a nurse inside a New Jersey hospital. Now the attacker has been found dead in our area. Appreciate you being here at 5 o'clock. I'm Jim Rosenfield.
And I'm Tracy Davidson. The victim is left with very serious burns and other injuries. It started at Hackensack University Medical Center in North Jersey, where investigators say Nick Pagano worked as a nurse. He's from our area and was found dead in Camden County this morning. He was tracked to a signal from his cell phone.
NBC 10 Cindy Long's been working on getting the details for us all day long. Sid, Pagano was considered armed and dangerous by detectives, right, who followed his trail right to our region.
Yeah, Jim and Tracy, and this location is some 92 miles from Hackensack University Medical Center. But as Tracy mentioned, it was a ping from Pagano's cell phone that initially led detectives right here to the woods. We're right next to Tuckahoe Turf Farm, about a quarter mile or so in early this morning, adjacent to the turf farm. That's where they discovered his body. And this is Waterford on the Hamilton border. As we learn more about Pagano's events of yesterday, we also know now he has family who lives nearby. Wanted for attempted murder, 31-year-old Nicholas Pagano is the man police say who took his own life, ending a 24-hour statewide manhunt. Skyforce 10 over his white Jeep lodged in dense woods in Waterford Township, discovered early this morning.
He was just out of control, that guy.
It was a 911 call from 92 miles away inside Hackensack University Medical Center around 5:15 Monday morning that led police to find a 54-year-old patient care technician had been brutally attacked. Pagano, who was a traveling nurse, according to this criminal complaint and probable cause affidavit, was off duty but made his way to a break room where the woman was alone. He used some kind of torch to burn the 54-year-old hospital employee on her chest, neck, and face. Later, witnesses watched him chase the woman, striking her on the head with a wrench.
Wow, that's scary.
The hospital went into lockdown. Police later able to see Pagano leaving at 5:29 in the morning in this white Jeep. His West Deptford neighbors tell NBC 10 Pagano had recently been acting visibly strange.
Recently, he's been getting more out of control, like cursing and screaming, running around in bathrobes. And I knew something was wrong when he started doing karate in the parking lot.
Richard Hallowell says Pagano had directly threatened an older neighbor.
My wife called up the number that was on the police this morning to let him know that my dad and I were in Home Depot and we saw him buying things. And I was like, that's the guy I yelled at because I'll leave this gentleman alone.
No one at Pagano's brother's home, where police say he stole a gun late yesterday, the one he used to take his life, wanted to speak to us.
I don't know how he passed the background check of a traveling nurse.
We're asking the state's Department of Consumer Affairs about Pagano's nursing license and with whom he was directly employed. Hallowell and others in the medical field now left wondering.
Why aren't there metal detectors? If he brought a wrench and supposedly lit the lady on fire, they would have stopped him.
Now, just in the last hour or so, Hackensack Meridian tells NBC 10 that Pagano has been a nurse since roughly 2016 and that he also passed a rigorous background check by a contracted company. They do also say that he was one of nearly 1,000 nurses that was hired during the COVID pandemic as it swept through staff at the hospital. That victim, she does remain in critical but stable.
Okay, so first off, where was security at? That's what I want to know. This is a medical facility. So there should have been security inside as well as security outside patrolling. So that's my first thought. Like, where the fuck was security at? Now that's crazy. Secondly, you have to watch your coworkers. Now, he looked it crazy. So automatically, if I was working there, I would have been like, I'm staying away from him. Or as soon as I seen him, I would always like go in a different direction. However, you have people who are in the workplace that don't even look buck-eyed and crazy like him, that are internally messed up and may not like you, may be jealous of you, and may want to take you out. So you don't always just go off of a person looks, because at the end of the day, spirits can be in anybody, for anybody to try to hurt you or harm you. So the thing here is, my thing was, where was security? Secondly, they said she was in the break room. So was she in there by herself? I guess it was one of them days she went on break and maybe she was in there by herself. Like, how do you even get the ranch into the building? Like, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that's not adding up. Like, where's the rest of the video footage? Did the facility pay for them not to put the footage out? Like, what's going on here? We need more. Y'all telling us the story, but we need more. We want footage on the screen. We want everybody to see. Another thing is how they said he was just on the second floor. He was just on the second floor by the emergency room. Nobody seen him looking weird and suspicious. And if you were by the emergency room, there's supposed to be security in the emergency room and outside of the emergency room. So nobody thought anything, Like, it's just too much, like, for nobody to even, I don't know. It's just not adding up to me. And then, where does he get the wrench from? Did he bring it inside in his bag and put it in his locker? Where's the locker located? How many people take stuff out their locker every day? Did he happen to be by the locker and nobody was around and took out the wrench? Even so, walking down the hallway, y'all supposed to have people watching those cameras at all times. How does he even... Okay, he gets the wrench. How does he even get to the break room and clubs her in the head? They said he clubbed her, which means he used the wrench as if it was a golf stick, a golf club, and hit her in the head. And then they keep saying he used an ignite item to burn her. How did he have time to do all this shit? This is what I'm trying to figure out. How in the world this man had time to do all this stuff? And then they said people heard her trying to escape, and they heard him, and some people seen it. So, like, I'm confused. Y'all go get help. How was he even able to leave the hospital? How was he able to escape? How was he able to escape? This right here is just mind blown. I mean, it don't surprise me, but at the same time, it's mind blown. Where was security at? Thank God this woman is still living. Her, and then he leave there and he go blow his own self up. Y'all heard what the neighbor said. He was out there doing karate to himself and all types of stuff. Like, just be mindful, just be watchful. Let's just pray for this family. But I honestly think that if he was to be caught and he was to be sentenced, he would have took his own life in jail. He just looked like one of those who would rather die than do the time. So I want to know what y'all think. And the thing is, they're not saying what item he used to burn her. They're not saying none of that. Until next time on Crime Stories with Nina, #CSWN. As we continue to pray for the healing of this nation and let God rule and reign, we won't stop fighting, because most of all, we want justice.